Hey guys, this is Joseph here. I'm going to be showing something I actually built in Minecraft. It's a 8x8 printer. I had posted an older version on YouTube before, which was manual, but this one is actually fully automatic. So it's a two-color 8x8 8-byte bitmap printer. That's pretty much what it is with specifications. It can print, pretty much an image, 8x8 blocks. It uses sand and cobblestone as its main printing blocks, so I've made a sample just to print quickly, which is just a test pattern, and here it is. And after this is printed, I'm gonna give a full explanation on how this works, what everything does, basically a complete explanation of everything about this printer. Okay, so it's done the print, now on to the explaining. Okay, so now I'm going to be showing you exactly how this printer works. Pretty sure you saw in the explanation there was quite a lot going on right now. So first of all, I'm going to explain from step 1 what happens when you press this button. So first of all, as usual, you just have the signal going through these repeaters, coming all the way really to the back of the printer. Now, what happens here, the signal will pass through all of these repeaters, which is a long delay, which will just be transferred to these wires over here. And all of these are going to happen from pretty much a 3-second delay, so they'll all be fired one after another, pretty much every 3 seconds. So what happens when these wires reach this part? This part is actually a sort of memory array that I actually got an idea from seeing another person's redstone project, who was Scorpion L2K, I think I got his name right. This design inspiration I sort of got from him, but it's having a redstone torch, or an inverted redstone signal coming through here, which is being transferred from this piece of redstone, and then having a line of redstone wire going underneath the entire thing. So you have 8 of them for however many signals there must be for the printer, and then you have redstone torches attached to it. So for the example pattern, I was having 4 redstone torches for the top 4 pixels. Then you have, these torches are always off by default, so when this redstone line is receiving power, this redstone torch will be turned off, which will turn this line of redstone off, activating these 4 torches. These 4 torches will then trigger that line of redstone going underneath, leading to the end of the signal, or of the pattern array. And all I do, I just duplicate this thing 8 times, so I have the exact same thing 8 times. It's just the pattern on the redstone torches changes every time. So what the printer will do, this is going to fire 8 times, so each time it fires, the redstone torches are going to be triggered, which will activate the proper signal down these wires. Then what happens, these redstone torches here will be turned on when this wire turns off. So these will all be turned on, sending redstone down this wire and activating these pistons. These pistons will push this block down, and in turn what it will do, these repeaters come from the signal wires. Once these blocks are pushed down, it can start receiving a signal. And the reason why I do this is because when you're placing redstone torches to create the animation, the redstone torches have a 1-tick sort of flicker before they actually turn off. This is to prevent those bugs, because it's really annoying. Okay, so once these things come down, signal can pass through on this long delay, which gives the piston time to come down. So then the redstone pulse will come through this wire, for example, which is actually going to, it's quite a long path. It's actually pretty much the same for all of them. It goes under here, through here, and all the way down to the bottom. And down here below, I have 8 pistons. These pistons aren't visible right now, but they are actually all behind this wall. And behind this wall, as I say, the 8 pistons, I'll just view it quickly. You can't really see it right now, but there's a piston, another piston, and there's lava and water. That's a cobblestone generator. So the way that happens, let's say on the bottom, on this row, you have 4 redstone torches there, 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 and there. So in the end, what's going to happen, the following 4 pistons are going to be triggered, these 4 pistons will be triggered, pushing up a block of cobblestone. Because the piston will push up, as it comes down, a new block of cobblestone will be generated and it's ready to happen again. So 4 blocks of cobble will pretty much be placed here. So for demonstration purposes, I'll put 4 blocks of cobble. Then what will happen after that, after these have been triggered, these pistons will be pushed. Also, what will happen after a delay, the following 8 pistons here will also be pushed, which contains this wall of sand. So what happens when these 8 pistons are pushed? Sand is being pushed over here onto this row. So I'm not actually going to push it, I'm going to drop it manually. So let's say I drop 8 pieces of sand right now. You can see certain blocks of sand will fall into the gap where there is no cobblestone. So you have cobblestone and sand, which is basically the 2 colors. And what that means is that you get a full canvas. That means you can't push a piston without air. Pretty much, I don't know how to explain this. So with these extra pieces of sand that are left over, what will happen now, after these have been triggered, you have a 8 tick delay, so which will give time for the sand to fall. Then these pistons will be triggered, pushing the following sand blocks back into position, because these pistons are still open by the time these come, which will be pushing the sand back into the original pile over there. So basically this will give you that result, which are these 8 blocks, 4 cobble, 4 sand with cobble in the middle. Then once all of that is complete, this is the longest pulse, it's 5 long. Once that's done, these 8 pistons here will push the entire piece of, well, the entire row of artwork will be pushed onto the stack, which is the finished canvas. And this process happens a few times, which is pretty much how the entire printer works. It's actually very simple. Then what happens at the end, which I haven't shown you on this machine, you have you have an 8x8 grid that's editable. Behind here, there's an additional 2 rows which are filled with redstone torches. And it's always filled. This isn't exactly editable. I don't want it to be editable. The reason why this happens is because you got an extra 2 blocks behind here. An extra 2 blocks. Problem is, you need to bring the whole picture all the way to the end. So basically, I just have it generate another 2 blocks of cobble to be filled over here, just to make sure the image is pushed all the way to the end. This is pretty much how the entire printer works. There's nothing very intelligent about it, well, other than it's programmable. I wouldn't say it's an actual computer, although some could call it that. It's got memory, it hasn't got any RAM, as far as I know. It works great as an actual printer, and now I'm going to be programming it, just to show you how exactly this will work. So right now, I'm going to clear the bottom row of redstone torches, and this will actually be just pretty easy. I'm pretty sure you understand what's happening right now. So now we have an empty bottom row. And actually what this is going to do now, I'm actually going to clear these lines in the middle. So just have a completely empty canvas. Just bear with me for 1 minute. I'll probably edit this part out until I've cleared it. Okay, I have cleared the printing area. Now what I can actually do now I'm going to I'm going to print something new. So what I'm going to do for this example, I'm going to add a border 1 block wide around the whole canvas with, well, no rounded edges, just a plain square border. I'm going to have this go all the way around. Probably need to fix that. That's one of the problems with the system. If you trigger this redstone, sometimes it will accidentally trigger the pushing mechanism to push the block forward. So that's something you must watch out for, and I'll show that just now. And as you can see, as I told you about that issue, this redstone wire underneath, you can see when I place a torch it will pulse quickly. That's that problem you get with redstone, so I'm just going to fill this quickly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, and 4. So this is basically a border around, going all the way around. Then you have a smaller border inside, which is just 2 squares pretty much. And they both are not filled. And as you could see, when I accidentally placed that sand, that's weird, it should have actually, well, what it would do, oh yes, that was nice, because as I placed it, the wires were not pointing towards the redstone torches, which deflected it, so that wasn't an issue. Then what happens, once our image is completely programmed, you must make sure you have 8 blocks of sand in this cartridge, because you have a maximum of 8 of 8 columns in the printer. So you must make sure that a minimum of 8 is required to make sure it will print successfully. Generally it won't use all 8, but it's good to be safe. And now I'm going to print it. So as you can see, I'll show what's happening. You can see the redstone there is traveling past, and you see these wires are being triggered one after another. And what's happening, as you can see, these wires going up and down, data comes through. Now if you can see here, the cobblestone is generated rather quickly, then the sand is dropped below, then it's pushed back almost instantly, and then the image is pushed forward. It's quite quick how it works, but yeah, really fast, really difficult to see. I tried to make it as fast as possible to make it easier for the server, but right now you can see the image was a success. You got 2 squares with, well, yeah, 2 squares inside it made of cobble with sand for everything else. And as you can see, most of the sand was used. The sand on these 2 sides, no sand was used whatsoever, because obviously there is no sand required for that. And this is actually pretty much all the printer does so far. I'm planning to try and get 2 separate images so you can have 2 buttons to press for a different image each time. I'm still figuring out how to do that. I'll probably just duplicate this, but it seems a bit difficult right now. I'll figure out a solution eventually. And well, thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Once again, I recorded this video. I actually built this project on a server called Quicksoft. It's actually a really great server. It's probably my favorite server I play on. And its IP address is 41.185.60.69. You should really play on the server. It is really awesome. There are so many great people, great community, great admins, great owner. It's just really fun to play on. And also I got a bit of help from this guy, Punisher Norm. You should probably just know it. He helped me with a few of those sort of stupid issues, like a piece of redstone that wasn't where it was supposed to be, or just one block, you know, those sort of mistakes, like a piece of redstone that's not supposed to be. He was actually helping a lot. Also with a few more problems I had, he came up with a few great solutions, like making something as small as possible. Also, I thank him for this, just helping out with those sort of things. Okay, thank you for bearing with me again. This was a really difficult project for me to understand. Actually, it took me a few hours actually to plan out everything. Yeah, so be sure to check out Quicksoft if you want to play on it. They've got a Facebook page, they've got a YouTube channel, and yeah, thanks for watching. Okay, goodbye.